This is the AfroDJMac Nintendo Rack. The samples were taken from a Nintendo Entertainment System by using Wayfar's MIDI NES, which is basically a Nintendo cartridge with a MIDI cable coming out of it. Outstanding piece of gear. I love it. I can't endorse it enough. So the way the synth works is we have our samples here. And I open up the zone for you. There are a bunch of different waveforms on the Nintendo. There's a pulse wave, a triangle wave, but the pulse wave has, it sounds like this. Take that delay and reverb off. But it also has a couple different duty cycles. So let me just show you here. Here's pulse width 1, which is what you're hearing, and it's controlled by this knob right here. So that keeps us on pulse width 1. Now if we go into the select here, this is what's mapped to pulse to triangle, this here. So within this range, you're hearing the same waveform, but as we go over here, we got the next of the pulse duty cycles. Right in the middle here on each of them, I just did a little crossfade between them, just for fun. We go here, the next one, slightly different, and we'll move on down to this one. And then we have the triangle wave all the way down here from this range here. This you probably remember as the bass line in a lot of those old video games. So you have all those different sounds right there. If we open up, there's a filter, which the Nintendo doesn't actually have a filter, so this is kind of like a little added bonus for having it on your computer. When you turn it all the way up, it also turns off. I assume that saves on CPU. Could be wrong. There's also the shaper amount, which you can see right in here. So that just makes it even dirtier than it already is, which, if you're using Nintendo sounds, you're probably into. I put some chorus, which is right here. It's just controlling the dry and wet, and again, when you turn it all the way to the left, it turns off. There's a vibrato, which I've created by, I believe, modulating the LFO. No. I don't remember how I did that. Well, there it is. Maybe it was the LFO, I'm sorry. Yes, it was the LFO right here. So that's how far it goes. You can alter that if you want to get into the map mode here. If you want more vibrato, which you can, it's always fun. You can play with that right here. You can change the percent. I like 5.5. But maybe you want sort of a spaceship sound. And you can play around with that. Let's put that back. Also, there's a glide function that I've built in right here. So if we that's something you can That's right here. It's at Portamento right now, which allows you to still play polyphonically, which the Nintendo can't do. It can play its 5 different channels, at the same time, but it can't play more than one note on each channel at once. It's monophonic. Something like that you wouldn't be able to do on Nintendo. If you want to be a little more pure, you can switch it to glide, I'm sorry. And that'll also restrict you to monophonic notes. Okay. I've put a redux on here, a bit crusher. It just seemed appropriate. For a Nintendo kind of sound. And a ping pong delay. And just for fun, there's an arpeggiator rack. Well, not a rack, just the plugin. Right in the beginning of this chain. So if you want to have those kind of old school video game, there you have it. So that is the AfroDJMac Nintendo rack. If you do enjoy it, I'd highly recommend checking out Wayfar's MIDI NES homemade project, and it's loads of fun. There's drum sounds, there's white noise channel, which aren't included here because I want to save some of the goods for Wayfar, but definitely recommend it. Want to thank you for checking this out, and we'll be back next week with yet another Ableton Live rack. Thanks.